Hello. Today I decided I was going to make a full-length YouTube video. It's been a while. So I'm just going to do makeup using some favorite products that I probably haven't talked about much on here yet because I don't really do YouTube anymore, but we'll see. We'll see. I know I say that literally every time I've posted a video, but currently it's such a beautiful day outside, and I did spend a lot of time outside reading with my puppies, so I feel like I got my day fix in. These videos take so long and I'd just rather be outside reading with my doggies, but I do feel inspired to do some makeup right now, so here we go. And a little life catch up. Just popped this Peach and Lily matcha pudding cream all over my face. The moisturizer isn't one that I use super regularly, but I ran out of my 3 Ships Beauty moisturizer and it's actually been serving me really well. So it's a really good moisturizer for underneath foundation. And the foundation that I'm using today is this Maxine's Revenge French Face Eyes and Face Concealer Concentrate, which if you've seen any of my shorts or Instagrams since probably the last 6 months, this is my absolute ride or die concealer foundation these days. It's vegan, cruelty-free, like everything always is on my channel since probably 9 years now. And it's also microplastic free. It's an indie woman-owned brand, but all of those things aside, it is definitely the best concealer that I've tried for so long. I think even I probably was still doing YouTube videos when my old concealer got discontinued. It was the Milk Makeup, I think it was like called like cream or something. And I honestly haven't found a concealer that has like totally just been wow since until this. I literally put it on my skin for the first time ever and I was like, I cannot wait to take this to work for show and tell. Everyone is going to be obsessed with this. And originally I just used it as concealer, and then I started to use it as a base, and I just absolutely love it as a base. See how pretty and skin-like satiny that is? It's like dewy but not too dewy. So that was the shade Fair Golden all over my face, and then I use a few dots of fair cream underneath the eyes and just one little tiny dot in the center there, or in the inner corner. Just going to use a slightly bigger fluffy concealer brush to just pat that under the eyes, and I'm actually not going to put any concealer on my actual eyelid, just on this little inner bridge here, because I am going to be using cream eyeshadows today and I don't want too much creamy stuff on my eyelid before I already add a cream on top of it. Today's look, I'm going to be using my Mob Southern Goth palette. This is the last collaboration that I did with Mob Beauty, and it's got 3 cream clay eyeshadows and 1 suspended sparkle balm. So I'm going to be using that for my look today. Like I was saying, I left the eyelid bare from concealer, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this Dermablend Pro powder. This powder is really, really matte, and I'm going to prime the eyelids with powder before I put my cream on. When you're using cream clays, prime the lids with powder. I get asked so often, do I still need a primer? No, skip the primer. Because these are creams, they work best without having too much cream underneath. That's why I skipped the concealer underneath, and now that's why I'm setting my eyelid with translucent powder. You can obviously use any translucent powder, but this was a recommendation from Courtney Quarantine, and they layer a ton of cream clays on their eyes and they still always stay on flawlessly. This is such a matte powder, so I really like this when I have to wear my cream clays and make them last all day. I'm going to start with the shade M157 Mob Cream Clay Eyeshadow on this little Delium Tools brush. This is number 777 brush. It's a shader shape, but it's also a little bit fluffy as well, so we can do a lot with this brush. Now that the eyelids are set with powder, I'm just going to tap that onto the mobile lid of the eye, probably for now just kind of up to the crease, which my crease is pretty low down. Whenever we're depositing color, we're using a patting motion, and whenever we're blending color, we're using a swiping back and forth motion. So right now, depositing color, and I'm just using a little patting motion to get that onto the eyelids just like that. I'm just going to grab a little bit of this shade M158 on this Cosette fluffy brush. So what inspired me to make this video was a co-worker of mine watched a really old, like from 10 years ago, YouTube video of mine, and she was saying that she just misses those days of YouTube where everything was like more raw and less edited, and just like, you know, these days you watch YouTube and it looks like someone with a film editing degree has edited them. I'm taking that Cosette brush and I'm popping that into the socket of the eye and literally just blending back and forth. If it gets a little too high up like that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my concealer brush that still has a little bit of concealer on it, and I'm just going to use that just to buff out those areas. I do this a lot with my concealer brush, and you know, now with short form content I kind of edit it out, but this is just such a like something that I literally do every time I do my makeup. I'll use my concealer brush that has my concealer that I just applied that day on and just kind of use it as like a little buffer eraser for any edges. It's literally just hit spring here in Michigan right now, and it is so flippin' hot upstairs in my makeup room. I really need to get one of those two-way air conditioners, because in these older houses we have air conditioner but it just doesn't get upstairs like it does downstairs. So I've just applied that first shade 157 with that Delium brush, and then I'm just going to go under with that Cosette brush and just buff that out. Probably still got a little bit of that transition shade left on that brush there, but we like that. Poke myself in the eyeball. I'm going to take that Dermablend powder. This is just one of the little travel size. I think this was like $12 or something. And I do only use it to set my cream clays because I have not dry skin, but it's so matte. There's no way I would ever want anywhere else on my face to look that matte. Like a little tickle underneath without looking in the mirror, hoping that I'm getting it in the right spot. And then this is the dupe, which is a Lush Wing It brush. I'm going to be using this Mob M101 cake liner for my eyeliner today. And I just wet it. You'll get your favorite angle brush and kind of make a thicker, almost gravy-like paste with this cake liner. Alright, so I'm doing like kind of a half demo for the eyeliner, but I decided if I'm going to do YouTube, I'm going to film like little snippets for Instagram in between, and I had to film a little video of how this Lush Wing It brush is a really good dupe for the About Face angle brush. The About Face angle brush is my absolute favorite, and it was only like $7. I think I bought like 4 of them, 2 for me and then 2 for my kit, and then it got discontinued, or they say that they're bringing it back, but it's been like a year that I've actually seen it in stock. So anyways, I absolutely love this brush, or this shape of brush, for cake liners, and basically I only really use cake liners or like wet liner pen brushes now. The shades are my cake liners that I have with Mob. This one's M116, which is like a tattoo green, and then we have the one that I just used there, which is a burgundy, and then this one, which is an eggplant. And then Mob also has black, brown, navy, and then Courtney Quarantine's chartreuse cake liner, which is heavenly. I actually almost forgot to do my eyebrows. I haven't been doing very much with my eyebrows recently. My brows are microbladed, laminated, and tinted, so I don't have to do too much to them. And unlike when we used to hang out in 2016 on the YouTubes, brow trends have changed a lot, thank gosh. I always thought that I was doing a really nice soft brow for 2016, but I look back at those photos and I'm like, yikes. The brow was full, the brow was dense, the brow was opaque. I definitely prefer a softer, slightly more see-through brow these days, so I just use this Milk Kush Fiber Brow Gel. This is the shade Grind, which is a really dark, almost black. I do have a few little spots on my eyebrows that sometimes I'll fill in if I can be bothered, and I use this little Kosas Nano Brow Pop. Just there's like a few little spots. They're microbladed, but there's no hair to cover it, so I just kind of add a few little strokes with this brow pencil just to add a little more density to the brows. All right, so one thing that I've noticed, and I'm so sad, I can't wear eyeliner in my waterline anymore. It like, I can and I do, but it makes me like sniffly and like allergy. And I remember, let me get my eyeliner. I do remember people would tell me when I worked at the MAC counter, like I would have said back then that they were older ladies and they were probably like my age. They're like, oh, I can't wear eyeliner in my waterline, I'm too sensitive. I'm like, whatever, just do it. But yeah, now I am that person. Every time I wear eyeliner in my waterline, about an hour later, I'm like, oh man, why am I so sniffly? Why is my nose just non-stop running? It's because I'm allergic to it. And it's not just when I wear like burgundies like this. This is the 1999 Beauty Bore pencil, which is a really pretty like plum shade. It's for eyes and lips. It's not just when I wear stuff with red pigment, it's literally like black and browns as well. So sad, sad, sad. So now that I'm done with eyes, I'm just going to set the face with a little bit of this Tower 28 translucent powder. I usually set my foundation after I've done my eyes, probably just out of habit of getting powder fallout on the foundation so that you can like fix that. But because I'm using creams, I never get any fallout. So this is just a weird habit and makeup step that I got used to of powdering my face after I'm done with my eyes. I know some people will like put heavy powder underneath their eyes before they do eyeshadow and then swipe it away, but when I put that much powder underneath my eyes, I look like the Crypt Keeper, so I don't do that. I'm going to curl my eyelashes. This is the Jenny Patinkin lash curler. I'm going to show you something that I made at the Mob Lab, and hopefully it ends up getting launched, because sometimes we'll make things at the Mob Lab and you know, they might just be for us, or like maybe they don't make it into a collection. But I've been begging Mob for a Burgundy mascara for so long. We were actually in the car with Alicia and Vic, and I was like, now that I have you locked in here, I'm like, Vic, I need a Burgundy mascara. It needs to happen. It needs to happen. And so the next day that when I walked into the Mob Lab, he had already made up the Burgundy mascara, and I almost made it a little bit darker. But when I actually tried it on the lashes, because you know your lashes can be, some people's lashes are dark brown, some people's lashes are black, it already had that depth from the natural lash underneath, so it didn't need to be any darker. So he literally nailed it the first go. So yes, this is the Mob Burgundy Mascara, and if you want to see this in the lineup, make some noise in the captions below so that with proof I can go to Mob and be like, the people want Burgundy Mascara. And I don't think Burgundy Mascara is just something for like the spooky girls. It literally, like, look how it makes the green in my hazel eyes pop. It just looks so good on all eye colors. I'm just obsessed with the Burgundy Mascara. It's not as in your face as like a blue would be, or like a bright red, which I also love that look too. But I feel like a burgundy is like wearable every day without looking, you know, too extreme. I know that there are burgundy mascaras out there on the market already, but they all suck. I don't know what it is with colored mascaras and brands like not being able to get it right with colored mascaras, but I've tried so many, and maybe they don't suck, but they just don't give you any volume at all. Sure, they like color your lashes, but I need that same volume that I'm used to with a black mascara when I wear colored mascara. I don't want these limp, saggy lashes. Have been sometimes kind of skipping blush and contour these days. I do kind of naturally have a cheekbone, so not a flex. It's not a flex. I just already have cheekbone shadowing going on, and sometimes I do my makeup up here and I'll walk downstairs and my husband's like, whoa. So I think I'm like a little bit cautious of overdoing it on the contour. And then also one of my favorite co-workers who has been a makeup artist for like 30 years and she's got such great style, she literally doesn't wear any blush or contour. So I've been going through this like no blush or contour phase. I'll add it every now and then just because I feel like sometimes you just need it to polish a look off. And then the shade that I'm using today, it's another cream clay eyeshadow. This is M115, one of the second collections that I made with Mob. This was in the Spring Goth, but you can see that that's hit pan. I absolutely love this as a contour. It's like a pale bronzer, if you will, for when I do feel like I want a cheek. I am going to take my Suspended Sparkle Balm. So when we made this, we actually put a chartreuse reflect in it, and it also has a touch of a red reflect in it as well. So I'm just going to tap that onto the top of the cheekbones and then up onto the brow bone here as well. And I love using fingers for this step. I really don't feel like you need a brush for that at all. And I just press and pat it in until it's blended in and there's no like, you know, lines of highlighter. I definitely feel like I could have done a little bit of a better job blending my eyes, but for me, when I do makeup on Instagram and YouTube, I do perfect it a little bit more. But I'm gonna be honest, when I do makeup for myself, when I'm going out, I am kind of like, I have a quit while you're ahead attitude to it, because you know when you start to overblend stuff and you just mess it up, or you start to correct your liner and it just gets out of control. That's kind of my motto. Good enough, but doesn't have to be photo shoot ready. I'm going to do some lips. I'm going to take this, oh my gosh, it's my new one, my Mob M147 Smooth Precision Liner. I got a brand new one when I went to the Mob Toronto Labs to create my new collection that's coming out soon-ish, Trad Goth palette. So excited. We kind of started naming all of the shades goth, like as a joke, because Mob called me their resident spooky girl. And the first one actually didn't have a name. And then the second one, for some reason we like started calling it Spring. It wouldn't be a YouTube video without Lily and Herman barking in the background. So Lily is deaf now, so she only books when Herman books, and I can tell Herman to stop, but Lily can't hear me say stop barking. She's an old lady, she gets to do what she wants. Say hi! Causing a ruckus down there. Bad little Brussels. Anyways, where was I? Okay, so the second collection that I did with Mob, we're kind of joking calling it Spring Goth, and then it stuck. So then the next collection, it was like Vintage Goth, and that like totally made sense for all of the shades that we did. They were like, you know, kind of inspired by vintage Hammer horror movies, like the Pantone shades of film from those eras. So the next one that we did was obviously going to be called something goth. We created it in Nashville, so we called it Southern Goth. So then my next collection, I really wanted like some core shades from Mob. I didn't do any cream clays, which is so weird for me because I absolutely love cream clay eyeshadows, but I was like, we need a good vegan, clean, microplastic free, white, black, gray. And I also couldn't resist but to do a shimmery shade, since Mob are doing like really shimmery shades now too. That is Mob M147. as a liner, and then I'm literally going to take this shade M158 on my finger. This is a cream clay eyeshadow. I love wearing these on the lips. They just kind of perform like a cream or satin lipstick. I'm kind of obsessed with like a monochromatic look these days as well. Just putting that on with my finger, and then I'll go and zhuzh the line. And then I'm going to take my Concealer Lip Nude shade M154B from Mob. I'm just going to pat that in the middle just to add a little depth. Oh my gosh, this lip is so hot. So naked. I can't believe I filmed this whole YouTube video without earrings in. So there we go. There is my finished look. I do apologize if anything has been out of... Bye, Herman. I do apologize if anything has been out of focus. I actually did just get a new camera to do some more high definition filming on. I got the DJI Pocket Pro like everyone else has, and it's taken me a little bit to get used to it, and I also already lost my microphone for it. I will find it somewhere. I know it's somewhere. That is all I've got for right now. I hope you have enjoyed my YouTube tutorial using my Mob Southern Goth palette. I gotta do one with the green again soon. I do hope to at least produce one long form content once a month, but don't hold me to it. I'm like, half of my head I'm like, long form is dead, but I do love like the chatty fun of it, and I also love the teaching capabilities of it as well, because with short form content it's so hard to like learn or see what people are doing, and it's just like product, buy this, look at this juicy lip, and you lose the education as well. So I do like long form content. I do hope I can find the time to at least do once a month. Maybe I'll hold myself accountable to once a month. I can do that. I can do that. All right, I'm going to stop rambling. It's almost going to hit 45 minutes, so that's going to be fun to edit. And yeah, I will see you for my next video, whenever that might be. We shall see. Bye.